Hello everyone, my name is Anusha Dube, and I'm the founder of the Global Youth Ring. Today we are here with our new series, What's Your Cause? And today with us we have Randy from AAUW, which is an organization hoping to empower women through education and research. Hello Randy, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what your role is in AAUW?
Okay, hi. So I'm currently the president of the foundation. It's called Fremont Area AAUW Foundation for Local Scholarships. We have a branch of members, and the branch of members created this foundation so that people could donate and get tax deductions on their donations. And I'll be talking about what that foundation does.
Yeah,
okay.
So you can tell us a little bit about, how exactly did AAUW start and what really is the goal behind this organization?
Okay, so the goal is equity for women and girls. AAUW started back in 1881 when there was a doctor telling women that if they went to college, it was detrimental to their health.
Oh, wow.
And so, women got together and they knew this wasn't true.
Yeah.
And so they did research and they proved that it wasn't true. And so that's how they got started, way back in 1881. Oh, wow. We are the largest funder of graduate women in the world. One of our well-known recipients was Marie Curie. She got money for her research.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So it's
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is. Mm-hmm. Especially since she's someone that, we all know, and the fact that you had a hand behind it. It's really cool, right. Yeah.
And while we're on famous people, another famous member of ours is Betty Crocker.
Oh.
She was a member of AAUW. Of course, her name wasn't Betty Crocker, but yeah.
So clearly, you guys have had, many people that have been a part of your organization, first of all. And, I'm sure there's many people that do want to, become a part of it. So I did take a look at your website, and I saw that you guys have things called, the speech track, the gov track, the tech track. So, and I saw a lot of different programs on there. So could you maybe tell our viewers a little bit about all these programs and, what exactly goes on in them?
Okay, so we have quite a few programs locally, and a lot of them are based on STEM. Mm-hmm. So one of our programs is called Tech Trek, and what we do is we ask 7th grade science and math teachers to nominate, and biology teachers, science, to nominate a 7th grade girl who really seems interested in science to our Tech Trek summer camp. It's a STEM summer camp. So, for example, this last year, schools in the Tri-City area nominated 7 girls to go to our camps. The camps cost $1,200 this year, and AAUW paid for it. And we sent girls to Cal State Sonoma, where the girls get to live in the dorms. They get to have core classes in things that they're interested in, like biology, like mechanics, like coding, things like that. So they go to core classes every day, and they meet women who are in those professions. And so one-on-one, they get to really see what it's like. They might have an idea about what coding is or what mechanical engineering is, but they get to really do hands-on experiments. And when they come out, most of them are just really, they want to continue their studies in STEM.
Yeah, I think, nowadays, especially at a young age, many people are like, oh, I want to do this, but they're not really sure. So I think that, program definitely helps out with that, especially if they get that, real life experience of being on like that campus, taking these classes, and of course also being around other women that, got to pursue that field.
And that's a key too, is that these are 7th grade girls, and when they go away for a week from their families.
Yeah.
It's sometimes the very first time they've been away from their family. And so when they leave, they're kind of, oh, Mom, I'm going to be gone, you know. But when they come back, they're, oh my gosh, I met so many friends, and this is going to be a friend for life. And, you know, she likes engineering just like I do. And, you know, they come back really excited.
Of course, like building those connections along with, you know, really doing something that you love. I think that's really great. Yeah. So, you know, of course, creating these programs and having people, you know, go through these and, you know, finding these people. Did you yourself or maybe AAUW ever face any obstacles, you know, when trying to help people with the funding or trying to find people that would be interested, anything like that?
Yes, we've faced obstacles. Funding has, because we rely on donations for these programs. So we're always looking for funding. But I want to go back. Can I go back to some of our other programs?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tech Trek, we also have what we call Speech Trek. And Speech Trek is for girls and boys in the high schools. And what they do is they enter a speech contest at the local level, and if they win, they go to the state level. And the subjects are always very, you know, at the top of what people are discussing, you know. Like, for example, just recently was about voting, you know, and about having a right to vote. And so the topics are always just, you know, current.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And so that's Speech Trek. And then Discovery Day. So we call it Mother-Daughter Discovery Day. And we invite mothers to come with their daughters, and we have 4 different workshops. And they go through all the workshops together. And you know, there are a lot of mothers who haven't had any STEM training. So this is fun for them as well as their daughters. So they, so an example might be for mechanical engineering, they might build a tower. So they get a little bit of theory first, and then they get to actually build the tower. There was one where we called it a roller coaster. They had to build this roller coaster. So they had all kinds of pipes and everything, and they had to make this ball go down through the roller coaster, and they had to plan the angles and everything. So again, they would get the theory first, and then the moms and daughters would build it together.
Oh, that's nice.
And then a third one was building a catapult. And so they got the theory first, and then they had to figure out how to build a catapult that when they, you know, shot it, it would hit its target. So they had to get the angles right and everything. And then, of course, we always have coding because so many, it's just what children need today.
The new technology, the new big deal these days. Yeah, I think that's great, you know, especially because, you know, little girls, of course, you know, they get to do it, first of all, with their moms, which is a big thing. And then not only the daughters, but the moms get to learn it as well. So I think that's a really big thing that you guys are doing as well.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's really a fun thing. Yeah. So this might be a good place also to talk about our college scholarships.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we work with the Ohlone College Foundation, and the funds that we receive for college scholarships, we work with Ohlone. They have their AAW application online, so students can apply through the Ohlone College Foundation, and then they and us award the scholarships. So typically in a year, we give away one $4,000 scholarship for women who are going on to a 4-year college. We give away 2 $750 scholarships for women who are continuing at Ohlone. And then we also have something called, we call it Nick Whistle. It's the National Convention for Collegiate Women Student Leaders. So you can see why we call it Nick Whistle.
Makes sense.
So this is a convention in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
And the women go and they stay at the University of Maryland campus, and they go to workshops and hear speeches by prominent women. Michelle Obama was a speaker
Oh,
one
wow.
year. So they have speakers on that caliber,
Oh, wow, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's really exciting. The women that we send just come back so energized
Yeah.
and so wanting to
Definitely.
help the world, right?
Yeah, of course. Especially having such an influential, speaker like Michelle Obama. Everyone knows her, but having someone like that actually speak to you, and
And you
it
get
could
to
be
meet
empowering.
them.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's
just
crazy,
face to
yeah.
face. It's really,
Yeah.
really great. Yeah.
yeah,
And again, being on a college campus, and of course, some of these women are
Yeah.
they're already college students, but then they get a tour of Washington D.C. also.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
definitely Washington, D.C. is a place where so much happens, for the whole nation. And I think it's great that, such conferences and programs are being held there. Yeah. And, definitely another idea and question that we could think of is, some memory or interesting story that you might have where you really saw an impact, take place on maybe someone's life or, a group of people, perhaps?
I have a good story. So, at one time, AAUW Fremont decided to do a mentoring program. And so we worked with Irvington and Kennedy High School, I think. This was a few years ago. And so we would match some of our members with
Okay.
high school students. Well, there was one match, and they, the high school student was struggling because of her family situation and everything, but our AAW mentor was able to help her, keep her on track, kind of, help direct her to, complete her homework and, not give up and things like that. And so, this young woman graduated high school. And then the mentor encouraged her to go to college. So she signed up, she went to Ohlone. Well, on the way, things got rough in her real life, and she dropped out. But the mentor was able to come back in
Oh, that's great.
and help her get started again. And this young woman actually graduated from Ohlone. So
That's great.
that, I think, is just such a great story.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize the little things that are needed, like just a simple push to finish an assignment, or just that simple push of here, just sign up for college. So I think the fact that a mentor was able to do these little things and it created such a big impact on someone's life, I think that really shows what AAUW does for people. Yeah, I think that's great. And either personally or for the organization itself, what do you really see as the biggest accomplishments? I mean, I know we heard about Marie Curie and then Betty Crocker, of course. Those are really big names. So do you know any other big accomplishments that you think the organization has done?
The organization as a whole, if you go on a national level, there's just so much that we've done. It's really hard to talk about, except one of the biggest achievements, I think, is helping fund graduate women. So we have women at all the universities in California and across the United States, really, who are completing very important programs in their lives. Getting masters and doctorates and I think that's really huge. Here's another part of the program that we haven't talked about much at all, even in our branch, is our Legal Advocacy Fund.
Oh, okay.
So if you're at a job and you realize that you're being discriminated against, like that man who just got hired is earning more than I am.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this is really a real problem
it is
for some companies. So AAUW helps with funds so that woman can sue her employer and get things made right. And we have been very successful in that. And you can actually go on the national website and it'll list the cases for the Legal Advocacy Fund, and you can see the outcomes.
That's really interesting, actually. I've never heard of that. So that's really cool that AAUW does that. Yeah. And do you think that, in the next couple of years, I mean, I know AAUW has been here since, I believe you said 1881. Yeah, so that's a very long time. It's been over a century. And so do you think you know, in the next couple years, maybe decade or so, what do you think changing or expanding, you know, is looking for AAUW?
Well, I know that a lot of our longtime members are learning all the technical aspects, you know, like, I'm sure that's going to be more and more. I know that we really want to just still be strong on women's equity.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
One of the things that, like, we have public policies, and one of our public policies is that a woman have a right to choose about her body.
Yes.
So that's one of our policies. Things like that we will, you know, we will support and try and educate. And here's another thing that's happening right now is that there are a lot of banned books in different states.
Oh, I didn't know that still happened.
That's still happening. And one of the banned books in one state is The Hill We Climb by the young poetry author who read the poem at Joe Biden's inauguration. Amanda Gorman, I think is her name. And, you know, she read it at his inauguration, and it's in this book, and that book has been banned in certain schools in the United States.
Really?
So we're actually having an event at the Fremont Library on September 30th to talk about it, to just discuss it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So what exactly is in the book that, you know, is making these states ban
I
it?
don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know exactly.
Yeah. So we'll find out
So yeah, that's what they're going to talk about.
Okay, that's great.
Library.
Yeah.
But if you read the poem, I mean, I read it, I thought, you know, but
yeah. So that's something people can definitely check out then.
Right.
You know?
And we'll have more programs about banned books throughout this next
that's
year.
great. Yeah, I know, like, this stuff happened centuries ago. I didn't realize that it was something that still happened. So I think it's great that you guys really bring light to that type of situation as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it did happen centuries ago, and now it's happening again.
All over again, It's like a cycle. It just keeps happening. Yeah. And, you know, I'm sure many people would, you know, want to join in on this, you know, especially like all these different programs and events that are going on. You know, I personally find them very interesting as well. So, you know, what could people do to become a part of AAUW as a member? So what's the process for that?
Okay, we would love to have members, men and women. The criteria is that you have a degree. It can be a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree. And if you don't have a degree, you know, we'd still love you to be our friend. We have a website. It's fremont-ca.aauw.net. And if you go to that website, there's a little join button where you can join. And I believe there's a donate button where you could donate to our college scholarships.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. You know, they definitely do need funds for that. As you know, may have heard earlier on, you did say that, you know, a lot of the funding does come straight from donations. And so, you know, to help AAUW, that is definitely something that we would want to do. And, you know, if I or, you know, many of the viewers, you know, would like to know more about it, so we can definitely visit the website as well. And are there any certain people we would have to contact or anything like that?
There's an email on the website that you can contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do know that you said something about, you know, just people with degrees to join. So is there any way for high school students to perhaps join if they want to be a part?
We would love to have a high school student maybe start I don't know what you would call it, a club.
Like a club or a chapter.
A chapter at your school. We do have student members, but they're at the college level. And but we have a lot of high school students who are involved with some of our programs, and they come and help us with Discovery Day. If we have an event, you know, they come and help us set up, or they might speak about something at their school.
Yeah.
So we have different ways. Everybody
That's
has their
great.
own talents, and we try and fit them in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. So clearly, you know, people of all ages are really welcome at AAUW, whether it is to, you know, set up an event, just volunteering, or becoming an official member. That is definitely something that everyone can look into. So thank you to Randy for being here from AAUW. And definitely it is something to check out. And thank you to all the viewers for watching today at What's Your Cause. Thank you.